All right, abusia inchi on yes so e mo akwa ba me channel so had as why be media je abusia be so say ena dey kwani twa channel so e be so be subscribe na abomodi say abusia be like so e dey amaye na e ya dey eye honorable eye Kabiru eye walwali MP abusia ene waba abonti wa break silence e wo ekwan a eye lawyer Samijemfi CEO of eye good board and no fa so ada abra omukoshia e wo eye news file eye jumadie so abusia wakasa wadi nkomo we dey ma mekasa wa yenkɔnenti ne nkomo a ɔde atu dwama sese ha ɛda so aye be media je chabu sebe so subscribe ɛde amaye babo notification bell no so for more podcast updates yenti ne nkomo ɔde tu dwama sese ha
na enanu Saturday ni see o news file Kabiru warawale MP hewzia Samijemfi man wo to pan the anu because MP for a press conference be and they were alleging $240 million be on say I gold board are making losses, which and you know crap according to Esquire Samijemfi. There was a buy several by in a video ni by in a Kabiru on Abu Kabiru Samijemfi man wanted to unbreaky silence, but was no breaky silence. Now silence no break here no. O there shortly my main found go tie Samijemfi DC na no Saturday you go tie silence now breaking on you go tie shortly bare 4 minutes ni tie hasema a few moments later the Kabiru guy
of Ghana, the IMF and Believe Bryce Simmons.
Thank you.
Now to Kabiru, I'll do that in 5 minutes, and I promise you that. Number one, I'm rushing through. When I'm done, I'm done. You've spoken over 30 minutes, so let me finish. Kabiru says here, they don't do basic checks, and they come and sit on radio and embarrass themselves. He says that this issue about Bawa Rock has come up because Samijemfi and Gold Board didn't comply with Section 42 by publishing contracts and whatever. If you have been doing research, you would have known that immediately we awarded Bawa Rock a license, we published it on our website. Go and check. Then he says that
contract is different from license.
You see something, this guy.
Contract is different.
Please, for those of you watching, let's give you proper legal company law education. A company, please, when you were speaking, I didn't interject you once. Bawa Rock was registered on 14th January 2025. This is a certificate. 2015, this is it.
Yeah.
Bawa Rock then changed its name from Bawa Rock Limited to Bawa Rock Company Limited on 20th day of November 2023.
Correct.
This is it. A change of name is not the same as change of objects. Please don't embarrass yourself. Because Oppong Nkrumah goes to do a presser, runs away from newspaper, sends you, then you come and embarrass yourself about things you don't know. Now let's come. Then he says that Bawa Rock has been given a monopoly even though Gold Board was supposed to be a state monopoly. You didn't read in the Gold Board Act that the Gold Board, even though it's a state monopoly, the sole buyer and seller of all gold, the Gold Board is supposed to exercise that power through its licensed buyers. Don't you know that? Or you read that because Gold Board is a monopoly, then Gold Board itself as a state agency will nationalize gold trading, set up offices and buy all gold, and take out all private licensees out. You don't understand? I'm wrapping up. Then he says that the losses I spoke about are fake.
Right. That's substantial.
I'm giving you my chat with somebody that I will not mention.
Okay.
In fact, I can mention. I think I have it. I'm mentioning that this is from the governor. This is from the governor of the central bank.
Which document? Which document?
Hold on. You that you don't even know simple things. You don't even know the difference between the change of name.
The page number you took us to spoke about the gold for oil. Yes, not for the gold for reserves. And gave figures that are not the same as the gold.
Whose number is this? Something.
It's not true. Something is not true. I have the report.
Okay, right?
I
have the report. These are the losses. Please.
It's not right.
This is from the governor.
Yes. Okay.
2023 losses. G4O, gold for oil. 1.1 billion cedis. Gold for reserve, 973 million. Total.
So they are separate.
2.15 billion. They are all under G4R.
Okay.
Then you come to, they are all under domestic gold purchase program. Yes. Then you come to 2024 losses. G4O, gold for oil, 667.7 million cedis. Gold for reserves, 4.1 billion.
All right.
And you are here. Okay. You
hold on.
You are supposed to know these basic things.
Sammy, don't.
And then finally, I'm not attacking them. I'm only expressing surprise.
No.
Expressing surprise. You see, he says that he's checked our financials and 60%.
I'll come back to you.
He says that 60% of our fees come from the BOG. So we are bleeding the BOG. Where was 60% of the fees of PMMC coming from? When we took office, PMMC had a 2023 good purchase agreement with BOG. The fees that PMMC under you, MPP, were receiving is the same fees Gold Board has received without even an increment of 1 cedi. You don't know this? You don't know this? And you're on news file embarrassing yourself. And you're talking you're talking about the fact that
now,
an auction is opaque.
Thank you.
I will not even waste my time on these people. I will not banter.
It's okay, hold on. Some you have done 15, 16 minutes extra.
Who said that to review a policy means to cancel it?
Hold on.
I will not banter with that. It tells you how the thing. To review a policy means to cancel it.
And once again,
responsibility to
let me repeat.
Fast forward, no video, no, and I'm a share. That's 4 minutes of it. Misal do the longer video than this. A few moments later, said it a few moments later. What about Kabiru say? Oh no, dear. The guy never knew. The guy is very experienced and fluent in communication. Because for him being the national communication director, no, the guy is very fluent. Guy ni madi papa esquire immediately. Wa bing. And one can say, oh no, he cannot flow. Though he had a substance, but he cannot flow. But the guy is very good, and he wasn't prepared for this. He thought he's going to. He had a call. Unfortunately, said Uncle explaining budget being and the other say he can do it better. So they call Kabiru to step forward to make sure say Obekwa ko debating. But no him say. Or say a few moments later, no one say they fly a beer about that soon. Sami Jenfi no say no, he knows say the platform won't be flamed because Sami Jenfi, the Namishran, the guy will live long. The guy should live long because we had the kind of influence or flow, even the MPP, their communication director, Mustafa Salam. I stand to agree whether he's the one. He cannot even flow like the way Sami Jenfi flew on the television last Saturday. No. You could take Kabiru a few moments later. We admitted the fact that the guy is very good and he wasn't prepared to meet Sami Jenfi for this. You could take Kabiru. Shortly, we will be more details of what happened Saturday. No.
I was asked that. I thought someone on the party of it, so they needed someone to explain the budget. And they contacted the vice president of it. They said, well, I was the one, I could do it so well. So they want me to go. So I thought it was one-on-one, like going to explain what you know about the budget. And I said, okay, I was busy then. I said, when is it? They said, tomorrow in the morning. The call came around maybe 8 p.m. They wanted me tomorrow in the morning, the next day in the morning. So I said, okay, no problem. I would go. Then a few minutes later, they sent me a flyer. Myself, Sami Jenfi, and some people. I said, this wasn't what I prepared for. I was only coming to explain. I mean, not to engage in this kind of debate. But then I said, okay, well, if they believe you can do it, you don't have to disappoint the people who believe in you. So I took up the challenge and the mantle. And that was my most difficult program because the platform was not so friendly. Apart from that, the guy was an experienced communicator, director of communication of their party of their party then and now. And he was very fluent. And the advantage I had was that I had the substance, but I could not flow like the way he was. So what helped me was the substance of my argument. And on the point I was raising, even though as slow as I was raising them, people appreciated that he understood what he was saying. And I think I was asked that. I thought someone just called me from the party of it. So they needed someone to explain the budget. And they contacted the vice president of it. They said, well, I was the one, I could do it so well. So they want me to go. So I thought it was one-on-one, like going to explain what you know about the budget. And I said, okay, I was busy then. I said, when is it? They said, tomorrow in the morning. The call came around maybe 8 p.m. They wanted me tomorrow in the morning, the next day in the morning. So I said, okay, no problem. I would go. Then a few minutes later, they sent me a flyer. Myself, Sami Jenfi, and some people. I said, this wasn't what I prepared for. I was only coming to explain. Yeah, not to engage in this kind of debate. Yeah. But then I said, okay, well, if they believe you can do it, you don't have to disappoint the people who believe in you. So I took up the challenge and the mantle. And that was my most difficult program because the platform was not so friendly. Apart from that, the guy was an experienced communicator, director of communication of their party, of their party then and now, and he was very fluent. And the advantage I had was that I had the substance, but I could not flow like the way I raised, even though as slow as I was raising them, people appreciated that he understood what he was saying. And I think
this is the Honorable Kabiru admitting the fact that he wasn't prepared to meet Semi Jenfi, and the guy is very good. He give credits to the guy. But yeah, zooming into more details what happened on that very Saturday on Newsfile. More details of it. God bless you.
But some of the issues that Bright raised. His first argument was that Cocoa Board is just like Gold Board. Cocoa Board is also not primarily a profit-making institution, just like Gold Board. And yet, we discuss Cocoa Board losses, so nobody can stop anybody from discussing Gold Board losses. First of all, that argument is flawed because let's even assume that you can make that comparison between Cocoa Board and Gold Board. Cocoa Board has been recording losses, Gold Board has not recorded a loss. So that comparison doesn't cut it. That's number one. Gold Board has not made a loss. And it doesn't matter how many times you repeat that falsehood, it will not make it right. Gold Board is a corporate body, a body corporate. In fact, it is a public corporation. It has not made a loss. Number two, no, you must understand that there is, even though Gold Board and Cocoa Board has similarities in terms of mandates, our trade models are different because we are dealing with two different commodities. Cocoa Board provides incentives and support to cocoa farmers in the form of cocoa rows, cocoa fertilizer, chemicals, rehabilitation. And so by virtue of that, are justified to give cocoa farmers prices that sometimes are 30-40% discounted. Gold Board provides no good rules or no such incentives to miners and therefore cannot have a justification to buy gold at a discount or to trade gold the same way cocoa is traded. Understand that. Number two, whereas cocoa is very difficult to smuggle because it is bulky. To smuggle cocoa for it to make financial sense means you're carrying bags and bags of cocoa, putting it in a truck to smuggle. Gold is a small asset, but high value asset. You can put 1 kg of gold in your pocket and cross the border, and nobody will know that you're carrying something. So you don't manage cocoa the way you manage gold. And when you're drawing parallels in a debate like this, make sure you're comparing like with like, not oranges with apples. In any case, this is the main point. Nobody is saying don't assess the efficiency of the Gold Board model like you assess the efficiency of the Cocoa Board model. But in assessing the efficiency of a policy, any policy analyst worth his salt would do that assessment from the perspective of policy objects and policy goals. So, Cocoa Board is making losses, yes, you are right to assess that. Is Cocoa Board delivering on its mandate? Gold Board was established for the purpose of foreign exchange generation and supporting gold reserve accumulation. So when you are analyzing the efficiency of our model, you don't only look at cost, if indeed we were even incurring cost, but we are not. Currently, it is the DOG. This year, we may. Okay? But you look at it from the perspective of our cost versus the realization of our mandate or objects. That is not what you're doing. You're talking cost. In all your write-ups, you have never acknowledged the role and impact of Gold Board on this economy.
That's not correct.
Which the IMF even does. So that's number one. Number two,
I'll come to it.
He makes the argument that G4O was not for profit, and yet we discussed losses under it and it has been scrapped. Yes, G4O was not was also a monetary policy intervention, not for profit per se. Our criticism of G4O was one, opacity. We didn't know who were the aggregators. We didn't know how good was being bought. We didn't know a lot of things. And the most important thing was that it was not delivering the outcomes it was supposed to deliver, at least relative to cost. So BOG did a cost-benefit analysis and said that, look, the exposures we are having under G4O, both on the gold side and on the oil side, is not worth the benefits we are getting in terms of fuel price reduction, which was or stability, which was the object of G4O
on inflation.
So that is why they have scrapped it. So when you're doing the analysis, situate it in the right context. Then it says that we are interested in knowing the full chain of risk and issues and so you are interested in knowing. It means you don't know. And when you are interested in knowing something, you ask questions. You don't jump into hasty conclusions. That's number 3. Then number 4, he says the CEO of Gold Board will not admit losses, but will say that there is some cost anywhere. Hello, I said Gold Board has not made losses, and you have not been able to show that Gold Board has made losses. All you're talking about is cost under a BOG program. And you want to create an impression that cost under a BOG program